On the 5th of April 2022, one troll on Twitter made this post. One of my biggest fears in life is marrying someone that uses YouTube to cook. And to say that he got dragged for tweeting this rubbish is understatement. Brothers and sisters, this guy got cooked. He was grilled. He was dragged through the gutters of Twitter to the cleanest and back to the gutters again. And on the flip side, the dragging of Mr. Fashola led to Sweet Adjeley receiving her much deserved flowers for the impact she has been making in people's stomach, kitchen and marriages through her YouTube cooking channel. Sweet Adjeley trended #1 and it was all love and praises. Others were wondering how Sweet Adjeley's name was not even mentioned in the tweet. However, out of the many cooking YouTube channels out there, she was the one receiving all the praises and trending. So, in this video, we take a deep dive into Sweet Adjeley's entire career journey from Labadi to New York, swerving Osama to become a medical assistant, taking over YouTube and everything in between.
Nido na milk powder. Cornflakes. Cheese, ola cheese. This week here, me chicken sauce, mami. Yeah, one restaurant. Yeah, I learned it. Like, me won't celebrate to be our Ghana. And yes, that's structure because it's actually impacting us.
I was born Marklina na Adjeley Abban. So my mother named me after my brother who's Mark. Yeah, so M-A-R-K and the name Lina. So in actuality my name is Lina. Lina for short.
When Lina was barely 8 months old, the parents moved to work and stay in Nigeria. But 4 months later, her mother's sister Aunty Sateley visited them in Nigeria for the first time. And when returning to Ghana, she brought the 1-year-old Lina back with her. A couple of years later, Uncle Mark had to return Marklina to her mother, Awulai Chocho, in Yaba around Kalakuta. And come 1985, for some reasons, the parents divorced. So fast forward to 1988, Aunty Sateley visited Nigeria again. And once again, she brought Adjeley with her to Ghana. Adjeley's sweet and calm nature earned her the nickname Miss Ghana in the La Palm Wine Junction neighborhood where she resided with her auntie. The auntie had a housemaid who helps with the household chores. However, Aunty Sateley liked to be in the kitchen herself to cook for the family as often as possible as she can, and she would always make sure that some of the children in the house are with her in the kitchen. She will diligently assign different roles to each child to participate in different aspects of the cooking on different days. That is, if you grinded pepper today, tomorrow you may be prepping the meat. Another day, you may be responsible for fanning the coal pot and so on and so forth. Therefore, as the years passed by, all the children in Aunty Sateley's household, including Adjeley, who is often tagged as a lazy girl, developed keen interest in cooking, so much so that even days that the household did not officially cook and the children are given money to buy any street food of their choice, they rather put their monies together and cook their own delicious homemade food. Unlike someone that I know, this nephew of mine, even if you cook good in the house, he will still demand money to go and buy food from the street. However, despite all this cooking, Adjeley's future career dream was nowhere near cooking. And as you can already tell, Marklina Adjeley Abban is a shy, quiet kid who never talks even in classroom unless it's probably a talk or die affair. But ironically, Marklina's dream is to become a flight attendant. Yes, a shy, quiet flight attendant. Therefore, back in 1994, when she was in GSS 3 and registering for the Basic Education Certificate examination, she was advised to pick home economics to study at the secondary school. But few years later, what her mother surprisingly did was spark a roller coaster chain of events that would eventually lead to a 180-degree turn of Marklina's future career decisions. Now, we are in 1997 and At this moment, it has been like 8 to 10 years since Aunty Sateley brought Adjeley from her mother in Nigeria to Ghana. She is in her second year of studying home economics at Tema Senior Secondary School. Lina is happy and comfortable. She never lacks anything, and on top of that, she has also become the favorite student of the house mistress, Miss Podo. Therefore, Marklina is enjoying a lot of special privileges at Temasco. But exactly 1 month after she turned 17 years old, Awolai Chocho ordered that Marklina should stop the school and come stay with her once again. It was the first term of the second year. But what options does Marklina Adjeley have? Well, this time around, Chocho was no longer living in Yaba. She had relocated to the United States of America, the land of dreams. Now, imagine yourself as an average Ghanaian kid with a dream to become a flight attendant. You suddenly receive the news that your America green card is ready for you to board a plane. And not only that, but you are also reuniting with your lovely mother once again after 10 years. Let me ask you this serious question before we continue the story. How do you actually feel about Ghanaian landlords taking up to 2 years rent advance? So, if I show you a way that you can use to pay your rent on a monthly basis, what will you do with that advance money? Upgrade your phone, start a side business, or further your education? Okay. Well, regardless how you spend that money, let me introduce you to Rennmo.homes, today's video sponsors. Rennmo.homes will actually help you by paying your rent advance on your behalf to the landlord so that you can pay it back to Rennmo.homes on a month-by-month basis. Whether you are renewing your old rent or you are renting a new place, all you have to do is to click the link in the description, submit the required details for verification, get your approval within 3 days, and be like me, rent your dream home on a monthly basis. Now, back to the story. But in case the contact Rennmo na was sort out na kaimo sikana nkeri kotua rent na sisia receive no na enrich mo yi social media na true me share amam. Okay, now let's get back to the story. So, now that Adjeley has experienced a plane ride and landed in America, the land of dreams, how is it going to impact her future career decisions? Well, Adjeley was enrolled in a vocational high school, but the school didn't have home economics as a course. Therefore, she took a course related to dentistry, and after completing the vocational high school, she obviously didn't want anything to do with other people's teeth, and also she had lost interest in the flight attendant career for some reasons. Therefore, she decided to fall back on what her auntie has taught her to do best since she was like 10 years of age, and that is cooking. So, Marklina furthered her education at New York Restaurant School, which landed her a job at a restaurant located inside the World Financial Center, which is right next to the World Trade Center. And as you may already know, these two buildings are often called the Twin Towers. So, somewhere in 2001, on one unfaithful day, almost all the cooks on duty were males, except for one female, Marklina. Whilst Adjeley was quietly minding her business of preparing the marinara sauce, which is usually served with pasta for the day, some two guys in charge of tomato sauce at some point had to transfer the hot tomato sauce from one pot to another. And in the process of the hot transfer, they failed to follow the standard operating procedures of placing the second pot on a flat, steady surface. Therefore, when some of the sauce spilled onto one guy's hand and he quickly pulled away his hand, the pot fell on the floor, leading to the hot tomato sauce splashing onto Adjeley. She started shouting, "Jesus, Jesus, Atana no more, Jesus," whilst taking off her trousers. An ambulance was quickly called in to take Adjeley to the hospital.
My legs.
Okay. It's all Nashi.
No, it's still sexy legs.
3 months later, Adjeley recovered and returned to work at the Twin Towers. But upon entering the kitchen, she started having post-traumatic stress disorders, as we may also call panic attacks. The panic attacks kept on getting worse and worse, so she requested some time off from work to relax small. But her manager would not grant any of her requests. So I would like to advise Adjeley to quit the job, because she has even already booked a vacation flight to Ghana for her.
I left the US September 9th on KLM.
Go to Ghana on September 10th, and on the September 11th, Osama the Twin Towers. This is where you can meaningfully say that God works in mysterious ways. Because imagine for just a minute, if the accident had not happened, if the manager had not denied her the time of request, where would she be? Fast forward, Adjeley eventually returned to New Jersey and later took a security job just to keep herself busy, past thinking of what career path to take next. So it was during this period that she met this man, Isaac Tetekwe, aka Mr. T, who eventually married her in 2004. And in that same year, they welcomed their first child together. Few years later, Adjeley decided to go back to school, so she enrolled at Drake College to study to become a medical assistant. Adjeley worked as a medical assistant until they welcomed 2 more children and also have to relocate to a new neighborhood due to Mr. T's work, and they were soon faced with a harsh reality which will eventually force Miss Marklina Adjeley to become a housewife. In this new neighborhood, daycare and preschool was not cheap.
It was like $500 a week for childcare, and for 2 children, that's $1,000 a week. No, I'm their best teacher, so I stayed home until they started regular school, and even with that, I had to stay home to get them off the bus and everything. So,
but once a chef, always a chef. Therefore, her friends and relatives periodically reach out to her for recipes and cooking tips. She grants their recipe requests by writing out the ingredient list and the step-by-step process and send to them
with the help of WhatsApp.
As a stay-home mom, Adjeley developed the habit of posting pictures of her homemade meals on her Facebook wall. The savory-looking food pictures attracted her Facebook friends to also start sending her DMs to request for recipes. And as usual, Adjeley will selflessly type everything out and send to them via Messenger. So one day, somewhere in 2015, Boatma, a family friend, attentively observed Adjeley as she busily scrolled through her Facebook Messenger looking for a particular recipe that she has already sent to someone some months ago, in order to just copy and forward it to another person who has requested for that same recipe again. This made Boatma introduce Adjeley to YouTube.
Adjeley, why don't you start posting your food on YouTube? So I said, what is YouTube?
Boatma responded.
She said, oh, it's this platform that you can
post any kind of videos and send the link to anyone on WhatsApp or Facebook, or you can just give them the name of the channel and then they will see whatever you have there. So she downloaded the YouTube app to check it out. It was an interesting eye-opener for Adjeley. But the thought of being in front of a camera to speak put her off. So she kept on and on, testing and sending recipes after recipes via WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger every time someone asks for one. Boatma will occasionally ask her when she is going to start the YouTube channel, and Adjeley will always respond with,
okay, so I
Anyways, she did not stop watching YouTube though. She kept on watching and observing many different cooking channels. And what Ma also did not stop asking her about when she's going to start the channel. Now Adjeley eventually figured out how she can make the videos without being in front of the camera to show her face.
I also noticed that a lot of Ghanaian channels, their content was longer. So I said, I want to be the Ghanaian that is making quick recipes.
So, after 2 years of enduring what makes pressure, on the 17th February 2017, she finally uploaded her first video and sent the link to her family and friends, and about 20 of them subscribed shortly afterwards. Few weeks later, a comment came from someone new who is not part of the original family and friend subscribers. She couldn't keep the joy of this great news to herself. Her heart was beating so fast, so she ran to her brother to break the news that someone new has found the channel. The brother replied, "Wow, what is the person's name?" Adjeley checked and mentioned the name. And the brother responded, "Oh yeah, that is my friend. We work together, so I told her about the channel."
So I was kind of like, oh, I thought it was just somebody.
Gradually, her videos started getting noticed by a new audience. The subscriber count started growing. Comments started coming. Therefore, the focus of the channel shifted from just sharing recipes with family and friends to sharing with the whole world. At this period, it has been like 10 years since Sweet Adjeley quit her job to become a housewife to properly care for her little children at home. And now, the oldest child is old and capable enough to take care of the younger ones. So, now Adjeley has to resume her 9-to-5 medical assistant job. Therefore, to be consistent on her small new YouTube channel now seems like a puzzle. However, 6 months in, Sweet Adjeley qualified for monetization. And the amazing part is that the channel only had 200 subscribers. Well, at that time, you only needed just 10,000 views to qualify, regardless the number of subscribers you have. So, his 13-year-old son did the AdSense setup for the channel. And a few weeks later, YouTube decided to change their monetization policy from views to watch hours. 10,000 views to 4,000 watch hours. Plus, you now need to get 1,000 subscribers, which means Sweet Adjeley is now 3 steps backwards. She was not even able to cash out the money that she has earned. However, she did not give up. She kept on creating and uploading content, and one day she made this spice cube recipe.
There was this lady, I can never forget her. Her name is Araba Pakao. I've never met her. She started leaving comments. This channel is going to be great. This channel, you will regret it if you don't subscribe, because I guess she made the spice blend and it was helping her.
Therefore, by the end of her first year on YouTube, Sweet Adjeley got over 395 subscribers.
I'm still waiting for my ride. I'm late the entire time. This is embarrassing. They're embarrassing my personality.
Yes.
They're embarrassing my situation.
To prevent this kind of embarrassment ever happening to you, save this number for whenever you need a car to rent. Regardless the occasion, the location and destination, call us for any kind of car. One upload after another, Sweet finally met the new monetization requirement, 1,000 subs plus 4,000 watch hours. But once again, she was faced with another obstacle, which is copyright issues. All along, just like many innocent beginner YouTubers, Adjeley was using copyright protected songs in a vast majority of her videos. This means that any money that she is supposed to earn is going to the owners of the songs. Adjeley successfully made contact with some of the owners of some of these songs to seek help to dismiss some of the copyright claims. But in the middle of the communication, they stopped responding to her. Communication broke down. So, to prevent a babu the wake monkey the chop kind of a situation, Sweet Adjeley deleted all the affected videos, and we are looking at about 50 good, mouth-watering, delicious recipe videos. Very sad situation. But as they say, if life throws lemons at you, use it to bath or make a homemade lemonade with your kiss. And as you can see, Sweet Adjeley knows how to make sweet, delicious lemonade. Therefore, her brother Adjeley and his producer will put their heart and soul in to make one of the most iconic original soundtracks in the history of YouTube. And somewhere March 2019, after uploading a beef sauce recipe,
that recipe, I was just seeing subscribers.
The subscriber count started a race with Usain Bolt, and that very day, she got 500 new subscribers. It was within that same week that Sweet Adjeley will join this popular mothers group on Facebook, and about 4,000 people from the Tell It Mom group subscribed to her channel in that same week. And another week later, the total subscriber counts on the channel jumped to 30,000. In the years that followed, Sweet Adjeley will make her subscribers feel belong to a community.
Hello, my sweeties. Welcome to Sweet Adjeley.
Okay.
Today we're coming to make debe tilapia and local banku. Wow.
She actually put in the work to prove that the sweet team is not just a lip service or some smooth mouth talk. She proved it by flying all the way from USA to GHA to have some events such as meet and greet with her sweet team members. In addition to helping make cooking easier for millions of people, Sweet Adjeley also exemplifies the we rise by lifting others by sharing other YouTube creators' content to her sweet audience, even those who are doing the exact same food content as her.
When Sweet shares your video, baby, you are done.
And finally, after 5 years of teaching how to make pizza, jollof, banku and okra soup, sushi and pastries, all this and more, come Thursday 3rd November 2022, Sweet Adjeley will become the first Ghanaian who is doing YouTube as a side hustle to reach 1 million subscribers.
Oh! We did it, sweet team! We did it!
Hey, don't go no so fast. Let me add this.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay safe, keep loving each other, and remember that the love of God and family is life's greatest blessing. And guys, ke onamini uchemi sweet mahabotu. Bye y'all.